Anthony Williams, medical medium, cleanse to heal. Hidden exposures, plastics. This is going to be good. Plastic is getting more and more attention lately, particularly when it comes to the environment. Is this better? As we become more and more aware of how much it is around us, the reality that plastic exposure isn't good for us either, is also starting to sink in. I'm going to read that again. As we become more and more aware of how much it is around us, the plastic, the reality that plastic exposure isn't good for us either is also starting to sink in. There are plastics and pharmaceuticals in PVC pipes. So many items, such as meats, are wrapped in plastic. The list goes on. Because plastics are everywhere, and because there's already a lot of fear and chaos surrounding plastic bottles, bags, packaging, and straws, my goal is not to make you more afraid. Rather, it's to get you thinking about trying to remove years of accumulated plastics from your body. What does it mean that plastic isn't good for us? Well, plastic is a petroleum-based byproduct. It's a concoction of various chemicals, toxic to the human body, added together to create polymers. Formulations come in different ratios to create different degrees of hardening, with some plastics stronger for industrial use and others flexible, like a plastic bag. Problematic as plastic is, it's a useful resource for many applications. We can't run away from it and hide from it and rid from our lives entirely. Sometimes we rely on plastic in the kitchen to make our healing recipes. High-quality blenders, juicers, and food processors are worth using and don't pose the risk that cheap, disposable plastics do. While we can limit plastic straws and stop using plastic bags, the next thing you know, you'll be using water that was pumped through your house in PVC pipes, which, while a safer route than metal pipes, it still leads to plastic exposure. What about the plastic hair clip you touch, the computer keyboard, or the shoe made from faux vegan leather? Plastic is everywhere. Even if you think you've made choices to keep plastic out of every area of your life, be aware that in every state in this country, you're still breathing in through the air due to burning plastics from agriculture. Certain times of the year and hot weather are difficult for sensitive people due to accumulated toxins in the air. Burning plastics is one of those toxins. So we inhale plastic, we eat it, we drink it. We're all exposed. We can't run, we can't hide. Plastic items have a runoff we can't see. When saliva touches it, or the water touches it, or any kind of oil, including the natural oil from the skin on your hand, touches plastic. It takes a little plastic along with it. This is on a minute scale, barely detectable. It's still enough that it adds up. When this plastic runoff enters the body, it doesn't leave because our diets and lifestyles today don't allow it to leave. With other poisons and contaminants we're exposed to daily that are also entering our body, plus the way we eat, we're not able to detoxify properly. It's not like plastic is the only thing we have to worry about, as you can see from this chapter. So much is coming into our body all at once. Plastic tends to stay active in the body, reacting to other poisons and toxins. If you have troublemakers such as insecticides or other pesticides, fungicides, or solvent-based conventional cleaners inside your body, they're interacting with the nano-sized plastic film that's coming off the plastic you're touching, eating, and drinking that's entering your body. When the other chemicals in your body interact with that plastic petrochemical film, its composition changes, making it even more toxic than it would be otherwise. Plastic ends up in organs all through the body. No organ is safe from it to devoid of plastic exposure. We're not safe. We ain't safe. In the summertime, we sit on plastic lawn furniture, like so. Heated by the sun. Okay, plastic lawn furniture heated by the sun. We sit on plastic beach chairs while we put on suntan lotion. And when that sunscreen on our arms or legs or back gets sandwiched between our skin and the plastic chair, a reaction occurs that makes the plastic leach more. Good to know. That's why I use coconut oil, okay? That's only one prime example. Suntan lotion on our skin against plastic pool toys has the same effect. And do you ever go camping with a tent made from nylon, polyester, or other forms of plastic? What about plastic clothing and plastic shoes, which are getting quite popular? Stand next to a home with vinyl siding as the wind is blowing. Sit inside a home with open vinyl windows as the breeze comes in. Vinyl flooring is big now too. What about your driver's license and credit cards? Do you ever handle those? That's why we can't run and we can't hide from plastic. A sip for that. Of lemon water. Or a lime. There's no lemons here, there's only limes. Again, my goal is not to make you afraid. I know plenty of you are wary of plastic as it is. Not really. Others, though, will be skeptical that it could possibly affect them. And so I need to make it clear that we're all exposed from multiple angles. While any steps you take to be mindful about your plastic use certainly do help, even if you use 0 disposable plastics in a day, you're going to get exposure elsewhere, and plenty of it. We need to actively cleanse the plastics that have been on our body all these years, before we were wise to them. Otherwise, plastic becomes parts of our organs, including our liver and even our skin. Plastics don't become a part of our organs, they infiltrate them and oversaturate them. When the liver gets tired, stagnant, and sluggish from various factors in our lives, including high-fat diets, whether healthy or obviously unhealthy ones, it has trouble filtering additional plastics coming into our body. As the main filter of our body, our liver can only hold on to so much. And so when plastics slip out of our liver, they end up getting cells in other parts of the body, creating a film-like coating between cells and connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nerve tissue. The film can become like a barrier that doesn't allow cells to breathe, potentially starving cells of oxygen and causing cell death to increase in certain areas of the body. This is on an individual cell level. Like the concern we have about children and plastic bags and the reason they're printed with warnings about danger of suffocation. As a result of plastic exposure, cells adapt and mutate. The new cells that are produced becoming infused with plastic residue. Oh wow. We want to be proactive about ridding plastics from the body. When we're young, it's easy to feel indestructible, and yet all of us are going to get older someday. As plastic film and residue build up inside us, we may not feel it in the present. We may not feel it coats the cells inside our lungs, for example. We may not feel it coats the cells inside our lungs, for example. That doesn't mean that down the road it won't affect us. We need to be concerned now about what we're putting in and on our bodies, so we're not paying the price dearly later, which many of us have to. Cleansing is a critical way of ridding plastics from organs such as the liver, getting plastics away from critical life, supporting cells, and helping prevent illness. All right, that's the end of Hidden Exposures. I don't know what series is next, but I'll be reading this book to you guys so you can understand with me, because we all got to change together. Doing it by ourselves is too hard. We got to do it together. Happy Monday!